T minus 80 seconds. T minus 70 seconds. T minus 60 seconds. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
Hello and welcome to the Outpost Frequencies, brought to you by the Last Movie Outpost.com. That looks like I'm wearing it. Hello, I'm wearing an offensive t-shirt. I actually made an effort with my t-shirt today. Hello, welcome to the Outpost Frequencies, brought to you by the Last Movie Outpost.com. What have you called a movie? Cool movie news review.
No, he died.
Everything called out for him. Yes, we are. Seriously? Right,
Yep.
What happened there? I'd frozen up.
He froze up for a second.
We're off to a good start.
Right, okay, hopefully
Messed
I'm
up a
back.
perfectly good intro. I don't know what to tell you.
Twice. Okie doke. So we have a full house this evening. I'm the only one who's actually made an effort with my name. I'm called Boo Phil. in true Halloween special. Matt, how are you doing today? You all right?
I'm all right, thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Thank you.
Good.
We've also got Sean with us.
How's it going, fellow bigots?
Fine and dandy like Sarah Candy.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, exactly. Bob's your uncle. And your Aunt Fanny, that's right. And of course, as always, having to put up with the three of us is our beloved Yoda.
Hello there, Bigot Brigade.
That's what we should change this to.
That sounds like some J6 stuff there to me. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Somebody needs to call the FBI. We got a Bigley shirt over here. Then we got a guy calling us the Bigot Brigade. I don't know.
I love alliteration. What can I say?
It sounds like very. Ooh, that's very high. That's some big brain word right there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you should
explain. Not like us at all.
You should explain it to Phil what that means exactly.
Well, yeah, bigot.
We only got a couple hours here.
Anyway, gentlemen. So how's everybody's week been? Obviously quite good for Matt because he's got himself a Donald Trump t-shirt, but how's everybody else's week been?
A client bought me that.
No kidding.
She had a problem with her website, so she's a friend as well. So I just sorted her images out on her website, and then a couple of days later, this t-shirt turned up in the post. So thank you very much, Michelle.
That was very based of Michelle.
Michelle Obama.
Very yes. No, not that dude.
Not that guy.
Sean, you've been hunting.
Superhero name, Man-Ape.
Sean, you've been out hunting more, haven't you? Have you seen Bigfoot or anything?
only when I pull my pants down to take a whiz. But other than that, not the.
And you haven't been attacked by any predators or anything else?
No, I did. I've got this scar across my chest. I should show it to you here. I took a nap. Yeah.
Yeah. Stood on a log and screamed.
It didn't end well for me though, unfortunately.
And Yoda, how's your week been?
Oh, my wife had her wrist surgery, and so now I'm finding out way more than I wanted to about what it takes to get a woman ready in the morning. So
you shouldn't you have learned that before you got married?
You know, it's been 10 years. I thought I was home free, but no, she's been a trooper about it. I'm giving her shit. It's tough. That's why we get married, have somebody take care of us when we're in that kind of state. So
now sometimes you got to pay it back.
Now that she's partially handicapped, you know what it may perfectly capable of doing now, much easier. Just saying.
I don't know where this is going, but
let's change the subject.
I'll subscribe to your newsletter later. Okay.
Yeah. Now that she can't defend herself properly, I'm just saying.
I remember my wife went into hospital once. She had to have keyhole surgery on some gallstones, and they did it in a day. So they do it locally. And I went in like 4 or 5 o'clock to pick her up, and the nurse said to me, "You need to get her up so she's walking, so she can actually get home." So we were walking very slowly because obviously she was really tender, and we walked past one nurse, and she said, "Oh, well done, you're doing well." And I said to her, "Well, dinner's not going to cook itself, is it?" So.
I really thought when you said you got to get her up, I thought there was a forklift joke in there or something.
Yeah, I was expecting.
You went a different direction.
I was expecting a trans joke. I told you guys about my best friend who made his wife, who was in labor, wait until from 10 o'clock till after midnight so he wouldn't get charged for an extra night in the hospital. That's a true story.
Those kids are expensive, you got to start saving as soon as possible.
He's very.
I was going to say that's like my favorite. In America, they have No Nut November. One of my favorite quotes was from somebody saying, "Hey guys, I've just failed No Dump November." Oh, actually, no, wait, it's all right. I'll put it back in. I know. There's so much things wrong with that. I liked it. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about some movie news. Yes, movie news this week. I mean, it was sad. I'm just going to mention this because it's kind of like fresh on my mind, but it was sad to see poor Robbie Coltrane died this week.
Yeah.
Because he's quite a legend.
I didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah, apparently he had a real bad joint disorder that put him in a wheelchair, and he said living every day was really painful. So yeah, he's been quite ill for quite. That was 2016, I think he said.
Did he sewer slide himself over this, or was this?
I think it was. Well, sort of as natural causes as
he took the vax. Is what you're saying?
He took all boosters in one hit. He's
actually sitting there and says, "It gets the old and infirm. Please help me, COVID." Let me out of this.
To be fair,
climate change claimed another one.
To be fair, I was going to say, to be fair though, I mean, he is Scottish, so he's probably full of quite a lot of stuff already. And whatnot.
He was in a lot of different. He was in a lot of different stuff that he played some. I'm trying to think. I saw him in something recently where he was like a gangster or something.
Is that the guy that was the? He was in the Johnny Depp from Hell. He was the other cop that was like, okay, I thought that was him.
Yeah.
You know him as Hagrid, Sean. Don't make out.
The what?
Actually, he does not.
Hagrid.
Yeah, you love him as Hagrid. That's what it is. Yeah.
All the trans have been coming for him, haven't you? Have you read that?
Really?
No.
All the trans have been going, burn in hell and glad you did. Because he sided with J.K. Rowling in her argument about trans women and men, and
that's what
you mean. He sided with reality. What a big.
He sided with, and I tell you, they have been absolutely vile about it. Absolutely vile.
That's what
pissing
got him.
I'm going to come and piss on your grave and things like that. These people are just fucking.
That's what got him. Jesus smited him because Jesus is obviously pro-trans, as we all know. It says so in the Bible. But he was so anti. He was a turf. God smited him.
Where does it say that? Somewhere near the back.
I'm sure it does somewhere.
I will remember Robbie Coltrane for Flash Gordon when he was man at airfield, and European Vacation when he was man in bathroom.
Let's not forget that the guy that played Jason Voorhees, the stuntman that played Jason Voorhees, and the New Blood died just a day or two ago too.
Oh, did he?
Was that Kane Hodder?
No. White,
okay.
Tom White, I believe was his name. I'm sorry if I got that. But sorry, apologies to his family if I got that name wrong. But yeah.
What did he die of then?
Climate change,
He got killed by a bunch of teenagers in the woods.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Very ironic, isn't
it? So I'm just looking through. I mean, in the news, to be fair, there's not like much massively else that was going on. They're doing a TV series of The Wicker Man, which is just the worst idea in the entire world.
Yep.
Oh, just. Ugh.
So of course they're doing it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Matt did the good review of Sound of Bond, which was very interesting, wasn't it, Matt?
Oh, did you watch it?
I haven't seen it yet, no, but it's on my list after your review.
Can you give us a quick? Can you give us a quick bottom line up front on that? Because I did not see it or anything.
Could you play all of the songs on a kazoo for us really quick?
I'll whistle them. It's just it's just a 90-minute documentary about how the theme tune come about, and then obviously how it's grown into probably one of the most iconic theme tunes of all time. And just how the music's evolved from the original Dr. No, where it's introduced like elements of jazz, right up until the most recent, where it obviously went a little bit techno-y with Pierce Brosnan, then a little bit more rocky with Daniel Craig's era. So yeah, it was an interesting documentary, and there was some really good cameos in there as well. Shirley Bassey was in there, and Michael Caine made a cameo in it.
No shit. Yeah,
so Michael Caine's in there talking about he was sharing a house. He used to live with Terence Stamp. And Terence Stamp was a bit of a ladies' man, and Michael Caine couldn't quite keep up with the amount of women that were coming and going every night. So he basically moved out and went and lived with, who's the guy that composed the Bond thing?
Now I'm just imagining all these women going in, all he hears through it is kneel before Zod. Just every night with this shit.
You're only supposed to smash her back doors in. So
I'm not going to be able to watch Superman 2 again for a while.
So who's the guy that composed the theme? Not the man who invented it, the one who actually put it all together. Anyway, he shared a house with him. Yeah, I think so. And he said Michael Caine was the first person to hear the theme tune because Barry was up all night doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
I see what you mean. He was up all night doing it. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, doing the theme tune.
Because just out of interest, on the site we had a little poll which had 77 votes in total of what was the best
big turnout,
all of them. Did you see what won? Does anybody know which one won?
No, do you know what? Like a true professional, I actually forgot to go and have a look. I'll do it now while you're talking.
No, I've got it here in front of me. So basically, we had 10 votes were for "You Know My Name" by Chris Cornell for Casino Royale.
That was a good one. Yeah, that is a good one.
No, that's got no votes. All-time high. It's got no votes. There was 9 votes for "Nobody Does It Better" by Carly Simon.
Okay,
9 votes for Goldfinger. But the outright winner with 13 votes was "Live and Let Die" by Paul McCartney and Wings.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, quality.
It's a
all right.
quality song, but it just
And
doesn't feel James Bond.
Nothing about it says James Bond to me, man.
Yeah, it's very much the fourth thumb of the James Bond, like Goldfinger. I mean, that is James Bond.
Yeah.
The funny thing
Yeah,
is apart from, I was going to say high all-time high from Octopussy, The World Is Not Enough by Garbage, and The Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith and No Time to Die got no votes at all. I completely understand with the last two, Sam Smith and the Billie Eilish one were just awful.
Yeah.
You know
How
what?
many did Duran get?
You know what my favorite James Bond moment is when he takes Pussy Galore, the lesbian.
I was going to say the rape of Pussy Galore.
And rapes her until she's straight. Now that is some alpha. That is some alpha male shit right there.
That's what we want to see out of James Bond. The View to a Kill, Duran Duran got 9 votes, so it's still very high. So it's still very good.
My favorite.
I like that song a lot. That's another one where it's like, but it doesn't feel very James Bond.
Yeah, I agree. Great songs, but not James Bond.
They do explain it in the documentary. They explain how I think with the likes of Moonraker and that, they deviated to something really mundane and shit. And Duran Duran were at some award ceremony and they were speaking to Broccoli, and he said, "When are you going to start doing decent James Bond theme tunes again?" And he went,
"Can you do any better?"
And yeah, that's literally it. And they went, "Yeah," and they got the gig. It was just like that, simple as that.
You guys fans of Duran Duran?
Yeah, you got to be.
Yeah, I was in the day anyway. Haven't listened to it for a while, but yeah.
No,
I was listening to
Hungry.
I was listening to Hungry Like a Wolf just the other day. That's still a classic.
Yeah.
Well,
boys.
This is how old we all are as we're discussing Duran Duran songs.
Most kids are going, Duran Duran, like, what the hell's that? I'll look for it on TikTok.
Because those were the style at the time.
My favourite one of that quote was the style at the time. It's in 50 years, you're going to have a bunch of men who are going, and then I cut my penis off, which was the style at the time.
What did you all see the little video I shared on the Slack of the stripper dressed as a dinosaur to the thing? I thought that you guys would appreciate.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's go to the strip bar and see a piece of tail. It's like, that is not what I had in mind.
It's the music, though. The techno.
That's what I was going to say. That was
you should upload that on this channel because there's nothing in it that violates any kind of community standard. It's funny. You should.
I've decided today that because to get around some of the copyright, this is why I mentioned a kazoo earlier, is I've actually ordered one from Amazon. So in future, if I've got any music that I want to use from Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that, I can just play it on the kazoo. Just cheaper.
That's some big brain thinking, Phil. Good job.
So the other news was, like I said, there's been quite a bit of news, but the other thing is the end of She-Hulk. Now, Yoda, you had some comments to make on this, didn't you?
Well, I actually wanted to talk about Andor
first,
because you're effing up my bit.
Sorry, let's do that again.
Yeah.
And so let's it has been the end of She-Hulk, but also Andor's been on, hasn't it, Yoda?
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate you just setting me up like that.
Seamless.
Not a problem.
Matt, you've been watching it. I think you did the review.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 things that I've noticed on this show. So I'll get through this, but I think you will appreciate some of this, Sean. One, did you see the guy die from a heart attack? When do we have heart attacks in? People don't die of heart attacks in Star Wars, all right? You get killed by a blaster, you get cut in half by a lightsaber, you get thrown down a reactor shaft.
None of that kills you, by the way.
Yeah, you get blown up in the spaceship. You get kidnapped and raped to death by sand people. That was only happened once, but still. Or you merge peacefully into the Force like a fart in the wind. You don't get lymphoma, all right? So that's a little weird to me that we have natural cause death in Star Wars. And then secondly, have you noticed that Andor's big move is to basically unexpectedly murder you mid-sentence?
Like Phil.
Yeah. No,
he did it in Rogue One. He did it he's done it twice in Andor. And I think I see the pattern here. If you're getting whiny or you're getting too scared or you're going to stab your friends in the back, all female traits, by the way, Sean, Andor will just murder you in the face. Just bam. No talking. I'm like, I'm beginning to love this guy. He does not put up with this. Now I'm really wanting to see the Andor She-Hulk crossover where She-Hulk starts whining about her overpaid job or her beautiful superpowers, and just in the mid-whine, he just shoots her in the face dead. That's the last episode, and we move on. Because Andor is becoming an all-out Chad to me. As far as how he handles things. And it's like, oh God, they're talking again. Talk, bam, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's
it's probably the most unexpected gem so far this year for me, because
it is.
I dismissed it out of hand. I was like, it's a prequel to a prequel. I know how it's ending. I'm not interested. It's going to be shit. And then I actually, for the first time in ages, I'm actually looking forward to a Star Wars show following week.
To me, still none of it feels anything like Star Wars whatsoever. To me, Star Wars is the Jedi battling against clone troopers and everything else. This is kind of like the opposite end of where the people do the cleaning and the sweeping up and all the crap you don't see of Star Wars. And so to me, I've not got anything Star Wars about it at all. I'm watching it just because I am, but that's it.
Yeah, but original Star Wars was all about joining the rebellion and the fight back. It just descended into pew, pew, pew and lightsabers and everything else as it went along. But the original Star Wars was all about...
You had a lightsaber in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, but it was still about the rebellion, escaping from the Empire, sending plans off.
Sean's gone. Be careful, Sean. Remember, you do have live guns around the house, so please be careful.
Oh, believe me, I'm very aware that I've got live loaded guns right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Let's keep talking, guys. We get a lot of ratings if you do it, Sean.
Well, if it's for ratings, I guess it's okay.
I know. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Oh, fine. All right, then.
I'm only doing this once, though.
Yeah. But if you do it twice.
Well, no, because you could come back for the Halloween special. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Sean, what did you think? Brains. I mean, in Phil's defense, I mean, it's like what I said, you don't have people die of heart attacks or things like that in Star Wars. That's not the real world shit is not as much in there. And so it's a little off-putting. I can see why, but I'm getting to really love it.
Is there any trans people in it yet?
Well,
there is some lesbians. Yeah, it's a couple of lesbians.
Yeah, we got the lesbians. Yeah,
obviously,
got to have lesbians.
Everybody, let's be honest. Even the most hardcore, Christian fundamentalists is okay with hot lesbians, right?
Yeah,
lesbians are fine.
Have you ever noticed there's a massive difference between movie lesbians and real life lesbians?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which reminds me of a story that I don't think I can tell on the air. Never
we'll save that for after one, Sean.
Yeah.
Because like I say, movie lesbians are really hot, whereas real life lesbians look like extras from Rings of Power.
They look like us.
They look like us. Yeah, they look as
well. Hot lesbians have had a long and proud history in the pages of Hustler since 1974, and I don't see any reason why we should turn our backs on it now.
I love that shirt that was always like, I support gay marriage as long as it's between two hot chicks.
So Yoda, you wanted to talk about She-Hulk as well then?
Speaking of hot chicks.
Yeah. I've just kind of come to the point. I listened to Chatmo and his discussion on it, and you just start to realize that these are just children who don't have any real, they have a degree, I'm sure, but they have no real education in understanding literacy or literature or how to create stories or
even
what
plot
the
details or sub-stories and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they don't understand the human condition. They live in this bubble that is just all about whining about their precious privileged lives, and And I remember Peter Jackson when he was making Lord of the Rings, and he was saying, you know, we want to make this for the fans. He was very reverent towards the fans and trying to get it right for the fans. And it appears that people are taking these properties now and saying, fuck the fans. We hate the fans.
Literally,
and I'm like going, they're building it for the critical comments. Like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? We made this because we know people will complain about these particular things, and that's why we put them in there. It's like, wait, can't you just go and bother somebody else? You have to. What did we do to you? I didn't do anything to any of these people. Why are you? Oh,
you're
well,
a man. You've got a penis, and so that's what you've done wrong.
I'll tell you why they do it. It's because this stuff was the last thing that people like us managed to gatekeep to the last man standing. And no, I'm serious.
I know.
And they finally, and it bothered them so much because they couldn't get into it, you know, and then they finally found a way into it for however reason. But now it's on because they hate it. They always hated people like us and our hobbies, and the fact that it was sort of the, you know, He-Man Woman's Haters Club. But
Tucker Carlson said it great the other day. He says, you know, it used to be, it's like, okay, you know, it was live and let live. We had our, you know, traditional stuff. And then there was that one guy down the street like to wear a dress. You're like, okay, whatever. He wants to wear a dress. That's fine. We'll leave him alone. He leaves us alone. But that wasn't good enough anymore. The guy in the dress now needs to go to the schools and make sure your kids are wearing dresses too. Yeah. Or, you know, getting, you know, and it's kind of the same mentality. It's not enough that we enjoy our stuff and you enjoy your stuff. You got to insert yourself into the stuff.
Yeah,
and
you've got to enjoy our stuff as well.
And it's all destruction. It's like I tweeted out where I think it's in Scotland or somewhere where they're just pouring milk out onto the ground for no reason.
London as well, a lot of places.
London, they're just pouring it out onto the ground. I'm like, well,
there's a reason.
You're just destroying and getting attention for yourself, but you have nothing to offer anybody.
The milk has become a thing, and
it doesn't matter what it is.
Well, I know, but
it's all about destroying that which came before, but they have nothing to offer us in replacement that has any joy or meaning or fun or beauty or anything.
Yeah, somebody like Benjamin Franklin or George Washington who said, if you complain about something but you don't offer a solution, you're just whining.
And that's all they're doing. And I'm just like, that's all She-Hulk is. It's just one big 8-episode whine. Nothing to offer.
I still could not. I could genuinely not get over that ending. Was just. It genuinely kind of left me speechless. That
Spoilers! Don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see it.
Let the show creators do that.
But
they've ruined it good.
It was the worst kind of. Just thing I genuinely couldn't believe that, I don't know, dozens, maybe hundreds of people read that script and it got signed off. That's what I couldn't believe.
Just before Sean does reach for his gun, what happened? Did they get a robot to erase?
Right, basically what happened
I haven't even watched it.
The Hulk, cut and paste. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now we go back to the story.
No. What happens is it turns out that all the trolls, which are the men who watch it online and everything, have been forming this group against her. And the one guy injects himself and he starts to become big and strong. And then Abomination turns up, and then the Hulk turns up, and a big fight breaks out. And she goes,
and Titania comes in for no reason.
Oh, yeah, for no reason. And again, I was thinking, but then She-Hulk turns to the camera and goes, "Are we really going to end it like this?" And then it cuts to the Disney Plus menu. And it's got her She-Hulk, and she climbs out of it and climbs into another like reality program about Disney, goes into the writer's room where there is Jessica Chow, the stupid cow who wrote this. And
wait a minute? Are you fucking with me? Is this really the show? Or are you
this is really what happened?
This is really what happens. So She-Hulk walks in there and going, "Why are we ending the series like this? Why don't we have just him getting arrested and Hulk doesn't turn up and Titania doesn't turn up, and then also Daredevil turns up and we can have a relationship?" And then all the writers go, "Oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Well, we've got to run it past Kevin," and you're obviously thinking it's Kevin Feige.
Triage.
But you obviously think it's Kevin, but Kevin turns out to be like an acronym of knowledge, evolution, visual
Who gives
instinct,
a
or
fuck?
something or other.
Listen,
No, she's-
wait a minute. Let me sum up much more concisely than you could. The ending of She-Hulk is a certified woman moment. Now let's move on.
That's the
It's a
thing.
dude.
Is
It's a Deus Ex Machina to end
Yeah.
all of them in the most.
she literally
lazy
goes
way
into
possible.
Kevin and she's going, yeah, let's fix this and let's do that. And then so basically she gets a happy ending. So
This
what
is
is
why I want
teaching?
the
What is
Andor
teaching?
crossover.
She
This
does
is-
a happy ending to
Yeah,
What's
Daredevil.
the happy ending?
I'd
If only.
watch that.
No.
No,
But
not
she's
the good
she's
kind.
saying to women that the only way you can get a happy ending is if you can meta your own life and sort of fix it from within. You know, if you talk to a clever robot. So basically, you're never going to get a happy ending because that's how crap life is. Honestly, I love the fact that Sean didn't believe us, but that is genuinely what happened.
The
That
19th
sounds even
Amendment.
worse than I imagined.
The 19th
So is she-
Amendment and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
Well,
I'll
the
tell
funny
you,
thing
it
is,
was-
on Instagram, on the Hulk account, the biggest comment that just keeps coming up is Thanos was right.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, he was as well.
Thanos was right.
So is Daredevil slipping her a length, or is that just?
Yeah, he's there
That's-
having
that's
dinner with her
catching it.
family.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been ruined. He's
Yeah.
ruined.
So if you guys were going to nail her, would you rather nail her as in her Hulk form or her human form?
Are you talking
Well,
about with
I
a nail
thought about
gun?
this.
No, I mean sex. I know
I
as a
thought
married
about
man,
this.
I know as a married man that is a very you know it's like you forgot what that's like, but I meant two consenting heterosexual.
I think about nothing else. Anybody on the TV, that Liz Truss, the new prime minister.
Yeah.
Five or six beers.
so
To quote the Hodge,
back to
so
the
to
more
quote the
serious.
Hodge twins.
I
Wait a
know
minute, wait a
she's
minute.
dead, but the queen's looking kind of hot in that coffin.
So no, back to the more serious question. It doesn't even have to be the show version because obviously she's revolting, but the hot comic book version, whichever one you prefer. Would you rather smang her as human or as She-Hulk?
But my question is, your human
You're
mushroom
human.
tip would be able to penetrate her soft Hulk walls because she's basically. So
Rip your
you'd
dick
have to
off,
do it
man.
when she's just normal. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get in there. You're just like.
What happens if she
Flush
gets
out.
too excited?
Okay.
If you're eating her out and her head's,
If-
she crushes your
All
head.
right, say you're Superman. Would you rather
Right.
bang? Okay, so you can take it. You've been bitten by a radioactive.
Krypton, yes.
Yes,
You've been
and
bitten
so-
by a radioactive planet.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So would you say you could endure it? Human
Right, my
or Hulk?
follow-up question to that
Hulk.
is, if she's Jen, do I have to talk to her?
No.
All right, then probably Jen. But as long as I don't have to
I'll
talk
go
to her or
She-Hulk.
make
But
any conversation.
If we're going by the way John Byrne drew them both, Hulk all the way.
Yeah.
So you want those big green watermelon boobies in your
Yeah.
face?
What about
Hey,
you?
look,
then, Sean?
I'm an old Star Trek guy. Had those Orion green bitches.
Yeah, there
You-
you go.
Mhm.
You know what they say about She-Hulks? Green on the outside, pink on the inside.
They're all
They're all watermelon. They're all watermelons.
To be fair,
Strangely enough,
guys.
green on the inside too. I was shocked.
To be fair,
wow.
guys,
That's
I'm
enough.
just going to interrupt here because I'm thinking that this could be a live stream in a couple of weeks' time. Which fictional characters would you do? Okay. Okay, so let's move on then to we've got Halloween Halloween Ends has just come out, and myself and Yoda have seen this. Have you guys seen it yet?
I've had two friends told me about it. One she loved it. The other one she hated it. So I don't know what
Okay.
to do then.
And Matt, you've not been a fan of the genre or the franchise at all, have you?
I'd rather count my mum's pubic hair than watch that, if I'm honest.
What about She-Hulks? Your mom's a
Oddly
She-Hulk
specific.
pubic hair.
Matt, I'll save you some time. It's 76.
Oh, she shaved it since I last saw it. Yeah.
Oh, where is that gun now?
Anyway. See,
All right,
I've
I'm
done this,
out.
Yoda. No, Yoda. I've done this in between segments, so you can cut this out. So you're welcome. All right. But yeah, the new Halloween is out now. I reviewed it. To me, it was an hour and a half of filler and a fake setup. and the actual movie was literally the last 15 minutes where, spoilers, Laurie finally kills Michael Myers for good.
For real?
How does she kill him?
Yeah.
How does
She
kill him?
pins into a table with a couple of knives, slits his throat, slits his wrist. The town come out and put him on a car and take him to a car scrap. Yeah, and it's a car, one of those things that sort of rolls inside and crushes up metal, and she throws the body in there, and it's properly torn up and stuff.
Right.
So
But
that sounds pretty definitive to me.
Yeah, and that's it. But there's a whole fake setup of somebody who again, I was saying to this to Yoda earlier. There's a bit with this kid. He's at the beginning, you'd like it, Sean, actually, the first 5 minutes, because he kills a kid quite brutally.
I have heard that. Everybody that's recommended it to me has been sure to tell me that. I don't know what that says about them or me.
What about you? But basically, then it is an accident, but the kid gets branded as this child killer, and he's constantly picked on and everything else. But then he stumbles across Michael Myers, who's living in a sewer, and they actually kind of like become friends. And Michael Myers, when he goes out killing, he takes this other kid with him. And I said to Yoda, I wanted a moment where there was a montage of him sort of going, no, like this, like this. Yeah. Oh, right, like not like that. Yeah, no, like this.
Sing the
everybody montage.
Sing the one. Let me tell you about my best friend. The courtship of Eddie's father's theme song.
Yeah. And but they kind of set this up that Corey was going to take over as Michael Myers, which kind of made no sense because, Michael Myers and Laurie, that's the story. But then at the end of it, he kills himself and dies, and that's it. And it was just like, so that whole hour and a half, he stabs himself in the neck.
Who stabs himself in the neck?
Corey. This Corey guy. The guy who's going to be the new Michael Myers.
Why does he kill himself?
I think it's to try to frame Laurie into so that the daughter would think that she did it.
Basically, Laurie sets up her granddaughter with this kid, and they actually start becoming friends. So the more he's going down the route of becoming a serial killer, the more Allison, I think it was, is the granddaughter who's like falling in love with her. So when he stabs himself and kills himself, it's just at the perfect moment where she comes home and Laurie stood over him with a knife, and so she thinks she's Laurie and is killed. And it was a waste of time.
I did read that the actor who played Corey actually requested to be killed off because he said the thought of having to work with Jamie Lee Curtis in another Halloween Ends was just too much to bear.
Is that true, or is that just...
No, I'm making it up, but she's a fucking piece of shit. She's a piece of shit of a woman anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised.
At one point, they did toy with the idea of her killing herself, and I actually thought to myself, oh, that will be nice because then Jamie won't have to play this crap anymore. But then that was all fake.
She's been dining off this for 40 years.
I know. It's a paycheck, isn't it?
She's basically made a career out of being in 700 Halloween films and getting her tits out in trading places. That's about it.
Yeah. That's about it. Yeah.
That's her whole career.
I know the famous mum.
And
I was going to say that.
The dance scene, true. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. And I was talking to you earlier, Phil, about that. I was sitting there mostly baffled by the direction they were going. And I was also looking at this as its place in a trilogy or a quadrilogy, if you want to call it that. But if this had been like Halloween Kills is trash. It's just bizarre nonsense. If they had gotten rid of that one and they made this the second one, where like maybe at the end of Halloween 2018, Michael was still at large, but he was kind of messed up. So he hides in the sewer, and then this kid finds him, and there's this kind of this deal where maybe the kid's going to be the new one, and maybe Michael. Then they have a fight, and then at the end, Michael is the big one, and then they do Halloween Ends, which is back to the final showdown between Laurie and Michael. I could kind of see it, kind of. It's not like there's something that could be there.
But they completely literally just go, nah.
Yeah, but then they made this the finale, and it doesn't make sense in the finale. So then Michael becomes superfluous in his own movie and has to show up at the end because, we gotta. I mean, it's like they almost forgot that he was in the movie.
Michael's first kill is
like,
not.
oh yeah, have him come here.
Michael's first kill is about 50 minutes. It's 60 minutes in.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
something like that. I barely see him for the first hour of the movie.
We've had Leanne say Halloween Ends was trash. Yeah, that was it. It's as simple as that.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to defend this movie. It's just I'm a little baffled, and there's part of me that's like, at least they would try something a little different, and it just didn't. But it didn't make sense in its place in a trilogy, and the execution was terrible. But there's a part of me that's like, if you had done this a little differently, maybe there's something there. But in the end, I can't recommend it. But it's
the problem.
Anyway,
The problem with these new ones is they try to add like a story to something. It's a slasher movie, man. You got tropes and you got beats and you repeat that, and the whole point is just to see the bad guy kill teenagers in new bloody ways. That's all that's all anybody wants from a slasher movie. They don't.
Corey was killing people that had wronged him or he felt had wronged Allison, right? He had like purpose to his murders. Michael Myers is never about that. Michael Myers is just this fucking force of nature. It comes through and just starts murdering people. And there's no rhyme or reason. That's what made the first movie work, is because you didn't know why. There was nothing between him and Laurie. He just started killing people because he just decided he wanted to kill people. And you never know who he's going to kill or why or anything like that. And this one, so making Corey the new Michael Myers doesn't really make any sense, because he's killing for reasons, because he's got motivation. He's been hurt. So of course he's not the Michael Myers, because he doesn't have it. Just because he tilts his head to the side or he sits up a certain way doesn't make him Michael Myers. That's just dumb.
It's the mask that does that. I wanted to see a scene. I wanted to see a scene where Michael's got his mask on, and then he took Corey out for his first kill, and then comes back and goes like, "There's your mask. There you go. All right, well done. You've earned that. Yeah, you
think they should have shown his face
and wash it at 40 degrees, and don't put it in the tumble dryer."
Do you think they should have showed his face, Phil, for this final one? Do you think they should have showed his face?
When they took the mask off, I thought it looked a bit like John Carpenter.
Might have been.
It
looked like an old man. I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea at this point.
Just leave it alone. It's not like you're going to look at him and go, "Oh, it was so and so all along."
They should have just not made that. They should have just not made those movies.
Yeah, but since they did,
yeah.
So let's move on into our kind of main theme here. Of what we're going to be talking about is some of the best horror movies ever made, because we're running up to Halloween. And Sean, if you'd have read the article that I put up, I said that next week we've got a special guest coming. So this week was like a build up to that. Thank you.
And you also spelled my name wrong in that same article. You're so and you're so proud. He's so proud of.
I never seen a proud bit of just get blown out of the saddle so quickly the way you just did.
It was because I was watching a film with Sean Bean in it. Anyway.
Sure.
Anyway. So let's talk about some of our favorite franchises from different types of horror movies. So, we've talked about Halloween as a series is now completely ruined. But I mean, best slasher movies. What would you guys say some of the best slasher movies out there?
Well, let's define them. I mean, does Texas Chainsaw count in that one? Or is that more of a...
Yeah, no, you can count that as a slasher.
Hillbilly crazy people like Hills Have Eyes. I don't know.
I've tried to sort of get them as rounded as possible. With these genres, because like I say, some of them I think will slip over a little bit. But I mean, I just quickly looked up a list here. You've got things like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Opera by Dario Argento, Dress to Kill, Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, which is brilliant.
Sleepaway Camp. Now that is a good one just because of the ending.
That ending is just
LGBTQ BBQ hashtag on that one, by the way. For those that haven't
Man.
seen it.
I watched that last year for the first time. I didn't know anything about it. And when that end happened, I was kind of overjoyed and surprised and shocked all at the same time because it was just like,
What happens?
that was so great.
The killer in the movie is named Angela, and at the end of the movie you see that Angela actually she's standing there with her boyfriend's decapitated head. She's completely naked, covered in blood, screaming, and it's a dude. She has a dick. You see full front on her. Yeah,
it was proper. Like, what the hell? It was great. It was great.
It's a very creepy ending too. If you've seen it back then, especially.
No, even now. Like I say, I was still.
If you go into it cold, not know anything about it, it's creepy as shit.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a big fan of the very first Halloween. I think it's still very good. I think all the Friday the 13th are overrated nonsense to me. I never really was that big.
You son of a bitch.
Yes, even Mrs. Voorhees.
I think the first Halloween was great. I think what was genius about it is there are a couple of moments where you've got the actors playing out in the foreground, and you have the shape moving along in the background, but completely out of focus. And if you're not paying attention, you kind of miss it. And that to me was brilliant. It wasn't just like a monster. Because I mean, obviously all the B movies of the 50s and 60s and stuff, the monster was the monster, and you kind of always saw it and stuff. Whereas he made it, John Carpenter made it much more creepy. As a slasher movie, it's a brilliant piece of work, the original. But yeah, the rest of them.
There's some overlooked ones or lesser known ones around that time too. Like have you guys ever seen The Burning?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The Burning is one of my favorites, and it never did turn into a franchise, which is a shame. But some kids are at typical, it's a slasher. So kids are at a summer camp, and there's this guy that's been deformed because some rambunctious kids set him on fire years before it horribly disfigured him. So of course he wants to kill all teenage.
What I liked about that movie is that guy gets burnt horribly.
Can I finish talking about what I liked about it before you interrupt?
Oh, I thought you had. You took a breath. All right. Fine, go on then. I'll just read a magazine.
So Cropsy is the killer's name in that, and he uses shears, and there's some great kills in it. We see a guy lose his fingers. It's just got some really good stuff in it. Jason Alexander's in it in a very early role.
My favorite bit was he gets burnt quite badly and he goes into hospital for X amount of months or years, however long it is. But then as soon as he comes out, he literally goes to a bar, picks up a prostitute and takes her back to his place and kills her straight away. As if to sort of say, I wonder how easy it is to kill someone. Oh, yeah, it's dead easy. I can go to that camp now and kill the rest of those kids.
Have you ever seen it, Yoda?
No.
You should check that one. Well,
I don't know. I just, the whole slide, they're, I like Psycho, excellent, it's classic of the genre. I think Psycho 2 is underrated.
I watched that recently, and yes, it is very good.
It is pretty good, yeah.
I don't know about 3 and 4. I've heard they're not that great. I guess 4 just ignores 2 and 3 and just he's married and he's like upscale. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's what they're doing. But I think the first Nightmare on Elm Street is proper scary. I remember him just walking down with the elongated arms. I don't know why. That just freaked the shit out of me.
The girl floating in the bedroom was the bit that got me. That was freaky.
I think the part that scared me the most when I first saw it back then was Johnny Depp sucked into the bed and then just a gusher of blood. You're like, what? Because you're like, what the hell happened to him? There's nothing. He just liquefied,
Yeah, I know. And more blood comes out than is actually in a blue whale. It's insane.
Second,
but
Nightmare on Elm Street
a lot
2,
of them are just
not so much.
Not so much.
I mean, with them, they kind of
aren't scary to me. They're fun. Some of them,
I was going to say they kind of embrace the cheesiness, and I kind of like that.
They made the pedophile child killer the hero, which is very strange.
Which is very strange from a film from Hollywood.
I know it. Who?
Yeah, very strange. from a country who's got a president like it as well.
Allegedly.
Freddy Krueger Epstein. I don't know if you knew that was his full name, but
yeah, Krugerberg is his actual. Before he migrated, it was Krugerberg. Yeah.
Opera.
What about Candyman?
Yeah, see, Candyman's another.
I was never a fan of Candyman because it has a black guy in it.
Yeah, I was gonna know you were gonna say.
No.
You said it before I did.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like that. The mythology of it. I don't know. It's all right, but I don't think it's.
I only saw it finally recently, and I went.
Yeah,
the original, not the new one. The
original. Yeah. We're talking about the original here.
At least it was. At least they tried to embrace a new IP with it.
Yeah, Clive Barker. I think that was a Clive Barker story there originally, wasn't it?
Oh right, that guy's fucked up.
He's gay, you know.
No, that's surprising. Really, I'd never have guessed.
Really?
Yeah.
He's been leaving little tiny signs his entire career. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone's just straight over my head. That one.
What about things like My Bloody Valentine?
I love My Bloody Valentine. I love that movie.
It's kind of a weird. It's weird in the fact that it's set in a mine, but then it's kind of like it's these Valentine Days killings, and that to me.
In Canada, directed by the same guy that did Porky's and A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
There
I
is
want to see his new one. I want to see his new one.
Varied career, didn't he?
Until he was killed by a drunk driving illegal immigrant with his son. So, R.I.P. Bob Clark. Yeah, killed the drunk driving criminal alien, hit him and his son, and killed them both. He lived though. Criminal alien lived. They just deported him. Is all. He didn't go to jail now, so don't worry. It's okay.
He's probably back now. He's probably back already.
I think he voted for Biden last election. As a matter of fact.
No, he couldn't have done. He's still alive.
This week on Firing Line.
Allegedly.
So not to wrap up slashers, but what would you say was your favorite or best slasher in your opinion?
My favorite is, it's hard to pin down one. I like the Friday the 13th because there are a lot of just the kills, fun. But probably underrated ones are a quick list: The Prowler, very mean spirited, The New York Ripper, Stage Fright. Oh, there's a lot of them. Oh, American Psycho, I think, kind of counts. Would you guys disagree with that?
Yeah.
Well, unless it's all in his mind, I guess. But then I go to April Fool's Day, right, where the whole thing was.
I hate April Fool's Day, as you could guess from my.
See, I quite liked it. I thought.
Well, but like I've always said, you guys know that I hate like it was all in the mind or it was a drink. I hate that kind of shit. I want real consequences.
You should see Twilight, Breaking Dawn Part 2. It's amazing for that.
I'll take your word for that.
I can't imagine. Yeah, doing a crossover because what's his name? Matt's supposed to be watching. What is it? Necromantic. We should make sure and watch Twilight.
I've already seen Twilight. Seen Twilight, the first one. Have you seen Necromantic yet? By the way,
no.
They're not going to hold up their end of the bargain. I can tell already.
It's not.
He's dragging me into this shit. I never.
It's not. It generally isn't my fault. I just have I've got fucking 3 kids living here at the moment. It's just not practical.
Watch it with them.
We're talking about the kind of movies that give you a blueprint on how to solve that problem.
We're trying to help, Matt. We're trying to help.
Well, I think so, 3 of them. 2 of the 3, their conception was probably very similar to Necromantic anyway. Felt like it.
As in one person was basically laying there like a dead thing. Yeah.
That's felt like it.
Very much
Good
like
for you, Matt. Good for you, Matt. Make her do the
fact, or the fact she smelt like a dead person. I don't know.
Very much like my marriage too.
That's like the old joke in it saying about my wife has died. The sex is still the same, but the dishes are piling up. Yoda, what would you say is your favorite slasher?
This is starting to become one right now. Psychopaths. I guess Halloween. I don't know. I mean, let's face it. I'm not the best.
Normie pig.
Fine, whatever. I'm not the best guy to ask about all these disgusting rape, pull their guts out movies. It's not my
That's fair.
It's not my favorite genre. So,
all right then, Matt. What would you say?
I don't really watch slashers. I would probably, if I had to, either Child's Play or
that's a good one.
Would From Hell count?
I'd
Jack
count
the
it.
Ripper?
Mate.
I suppose.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a slasher.
All right.
Oh,
I'll go From Hell then.
From Hell's a
See,
good
for
movie
me-
anyway. That's
for
a
me,
good
I
movie
think-
anyway.
All the ones we mentioned I've enjoyed, but I only recently watched Opera by Dario Argento, which is fantastic, where he puts the pins on the eyelids, so when he kills somebody, they can't shut their eyes because they'll stab themselves in the eye. So that was quite great.
I think
how do you guys rate Scream on this?
The original, I still quite like it, and I think the
Yeah, I
original was
do.
quite clever, but then it's just all gone to pot now.
I like the original a lot. Yeah.
I
wouldn't
think
put it
the
in my-
original doesn't hold up that much on repeat viewings. Is my problem.
No, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's very, very 1990s. Very meta.
Yeah.
Very.
And then you have all those I Know What You Did Last Summer and that kind of crap. It's
Yeah.
just like
The only reason to watch those is like Jennifer Love Hewitt, or to watch Scream is to, the worst thing about Scream is watching what's her called? Was she for
Courtney
bloody hell,
Cox.
Courtney Cox getting older and older and older through them. And the last
That-
one, I mean, God,
that's
dear.
the real horror.
Horror.
take off
she
the
is
ghost
not-
face mask. I'm not wearing a mask.
Oops, my
She is
fault.
not aged gracefully.
Mm-mm.
So, moving on then, as we just mentioned Twilight, because it's obviously going to be in the list for all of us.
Sean's number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, best of vampire movies. Again, I've just looked up a quick list, so let's just mention some before we sort of get into it. We've got like the original Nosferatu, Let the Right One In, What We
I
Do in
love
the
that.
Shadows, Interview with the Vampire, Lost Boys, Nosferatu which is a remake, Dracula, the original 1931, The Horror of Dracula, which I think was Peter Cushing and Chris Lee, Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman, Thirst by Park Chung-wook. which
That's an
is-
excellent movie. I mentioned that a few weeks ago. That is a great movie.
That is a good one. The Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night, which is very good. From Dusk Till Dawn, Underworld, Blade, Fright Night, Vampire Hunter D, Kronos, Black
Fucking
Sunday.
hell, you're not going to list every vampire movie
No,
you've
no.
made, are you? Be here till 9 o'clock.
I just found a list of the top 300. No,
Oh my god.
Near Dark, Twilight,
Near
The
Dark.
Hunger, 30
All right,
Days of
that's
Night.
All right, that's
Go on
enough.
then.
Again,
Fright Night. I'm gonna pick Fright Night. Okay, you've got mine.
You feel that off, please?
Oh, Brewster, you're so cool.
I know. I love it.
see, to me, I love From Dusk Till Dawn. It's just great fun. It's just great fun.
I would say that mine's probably Near Dark or Bram Stoker's Dracula, even.
Yeah, that's class. That's class. I'd go 30 Days of Night.
Very violent.
Not Interview with the
Yeah.
Vampire, Matt?
No.
Your top 10 and that one. And
That was in my,
that
well,
one-
that was my top 25 movies, but I wouldn't necessarily say that was just all blood and guts vampire action. There was a bit of gay in there. Leanne will know there's a bit of bum in it.
We're going to hear it in the comments now.
very confused.
Here we go, you fuckers. Yeah, it was either 30 Days of Night, Bram Stoker's is good. Obviously. Oh, and Lost Boys. No, I mentioned Lost Boys.
I didn't
I like
I'd
Lost
briefly
Boys a lot.
mention it,
I like that Let the Right One In a lot, too. That's a
Yeah.
good one, man. And Shadow of the Vampire. I love that movie, man. That is a good
yeah,
movie.
oh, yeah. That is really cleverly done, because the original Nosferatu is still really good. I watched that again recently, and it's a well done movie.
You guys notice that Eddie Izzard guy that's in that? There's just something about him. He doesn't seem very masculine to me. I don't know what it is, but he gives me the impression that he's like not really a manly man. I don't know.
He actually calls himself a woman now.
Does he?
He's
Sean.
running as an MP.
Well, he's getting a
running for an
political
MP.
career. You gotta change sex when you get a political career.
No,
don't you?
Sean,
Oh,
he's
it's
one of
the law now.
the Sean.
Yes.
He's one of the most manly men in the UK. Thank you very much.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. How about you, Sean?
Nope, I would not disagree with that. He used to be so funny. That
I
used
love
to be.
Dress to Kill. Dress to
I
Kill
do
was
too.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was so
Um,
funny.
One that's not mentioned on there is Salem's Lot, which is another great vampire flick. Well, I mean TV flick, but I mean it's still it's still one of those moments. I still remember as a kid absolutely crapping myself when the kid's brother is scratching on the window and asking to come in and stuff. That was brilliant.
It's all right.
The remake it'll be interesting what they do with the remake.
The first
no,
one would be the Vampire Slayer movie. No, I'm kidding. That thing would suck too.
Sorry, the other one I was just going to say was Let the Right One In.
Great movie.
Which, again, it's kind of an interesting take on the whole vampire genre in the way that it was done. It was, it was very, very good.
Are they making that a series?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's about to premiere pretty soon too on Showtime.
Because I know they're remaking Lost Boys as well, aren't they?
No.
Will it ever end?
No.
What's weird is in like 30 years' time, they'll be saying they'll be remaking Lost Boys, and they'll be going, "Oh man, what from that 2022 classic?" I don't think so.
Classic.
You know, Corey Haim is so lame in that movie. I rewatched it the other day, and I was like, I'm glad he's dead.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell. Cheers, Eve.
Was it enough that he got raped by most of Hollywood? You're glad he's also dead. Wow.
He deserved it.
Dark, man.
He deserved it.
For a bad performance in Lost Boys? Holy shit.
No, because the license to drive.
Oh yeah, you got to give him that. I always thought Blade was great fun because they just went full like blood, guts, and gore with it.
Yeah, action movie. Yeah, it's just an action.
The new one will be good.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
As long as they only make Blade white, then it will be fine. Which, I don't see. I'm just
Blade will be half Latinx, half black, trans woman, and
in a wheelchair.
And the way Blade kills the vampires is not something repeatable on YouTube. No. I got it. Very first episode, exactly 41 minutes into it, the trans Blade will hang himself.
Itself. Yeah. Dear.
There went that sponsorship you were bragging about earlier.
That's a nice family show about Halloween. It'll be fun. It'll be
we're talking about good horror movies. We're not talking about horrible horror.
Life, which is already a horror movie.
Okay, so let's go with Matt. What's your favorite vampire one? Just to finish it up.
30 Days a Night.
Sean.
Near Dark, I guess would be that or Bram Stoker's Dracula. I can't decide.
Leanne's got Near Dark as well. Look.
Yoda.
I'm sticking with Fright Night. I just think it's so over the top, and I just kind of love it. It's genuinely scary what it needed to be, but it's also just a heck of a lot of fun.
What about part 2? Did you like the sequel?
No.
I'm probably going to go with Twilight, the first one. No, that's still done. That's still done.
Sean, I really hated the Colin Farrell one.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Again, what was
dog
the point?
shit.
It was dog shit. Did you know the guy that what's his name, Evil Ed, and the original one went on to make gay porn?
Shocked am I to find that there's gambling in this establishment.
The actor.
Oh, I was just going to say, how did you find that out, Sean?
How did I find it out?
I recognize that guy.
Well, yeah, I was watching some gay porn one night, and I was like, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah. Totally put me off my vinegar stroke.
Really threw me off.
Yeah.
I was starstruck.
Hang on. Okay, we're just going to put a little pause in there so Yoda can cut that out of the clip show. Okay, so moving on to then.
Why would I do that?
That's where we get all the clicks. We've got things like, again, I'm just going to read out a quick list: Dawn of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead, Train to Busan, Night of the Living Dead, Zombieland, 28 Days Later, Wreck, Reanimator, I watched that again the other day. It's brilliant. Dead or Alive, Return of the Living Dead, lots of Day of the Dead's here. World War Z, which was I quite like World War Z. Zombie Flesh Eaters, Planet Terror, Warm Bodies. I Walk with a Zombie, Night of the Creeps. Again, 28 weeks later or 28 days later. Resident Evil, Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. Can do that with a straight face.
No sense of continuing on. I think we've got our winner.
Next.
But again, I mean, one that really did stick out to me was Train to Busan, because the idea of a zombie outbreak in a train like
on its
that
way to
was,
on its way to Busan.
yeah, exactly.
You know what?
I didn't
It's
see
weird.
the end coming.
It's weird. It's weird that
Plot
train
twist. It ended up in Schenectady.
But yeah, no, Train to Busan is very clever. It's very well done because, like I say, because of that confined space. I quite like that. I thought it was quite good.
You would.
I haven't seen that one, so I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of like, I like Shaun of the Dead a lot, and you mentioned another one. I'm trying to remember what it was now.
We're down 28 days
Zombieland?
later.
I actually quite like the Dawn of the Dead remake. I don't.
Snyder.
I mean,
It's good.
Zack Snyder. It's
Yeah.
good.
It's good.
It did change things a bit because I mean all the sort of zombie movies up until that point were there's a great extra on Shaun of the Dead about how Shaun near the end gets away from the zombies and then gets back into the pub, and he's saying because they're all slow moving, he kept going over here. They'd all slowly walk over to him, and then he'd go around the corner going over here. Whereas that 2004 remake, because they were all fast, that actually changed like zombies in a good way.
How is Sean's name spelled in Shaun of the Dead? I'm just curious if you were gonna spell that, how would you spell that?
It is Sean. Scene. Like Scene Born. Scene Born from Lord of the Rings movies.
CB.
Oh God, bloody hell! I am dyslexic. It's really. You're picking on me because of my disability. Thank you. I'm an idiot.
Is it Sean Bond? Is that how you pronounce? Sean Bond.
What you'll appreciate is when I'm actually typing quite quickly. For some reason, like with the exploitation movies, I kept putting Sean and Boba Phil, and it used to come out Shauna. So count yourself lucky.
That's that would be the webbing on your fingers that is causing that problem, mate. Nothing to do with dyslexia. It's the two thumbs on each hand and the webbing.
You can't use Shauna. Don't dead name him.
Yeah, I don't go by that anymore.
That's right.
Now,
he had the surgery. He had the bottom surgery even.
Yeah. I didn't have my nuts cut off, so you could still refer to me as wait a minute.
You had your nuts.
I didn't have cadaver nuts added to my vagina just so you could call me Shauna.
Let's just make sure we get this straight now. Okay, so you are a trans man. You had nuts attached to you.
Correct.
And you're into gay porn with old 80s horror movie stars.
Right. That tracks.
Okay, just making sure I've got the...
Is that a new gender?
Have
we just created a new gender?
Why not?
Oh, that's 75 genders now.
Yeah.
I think we created a sci-fi novel is what we created here.
I quite liked World War Z. I liked it. It was good the way the different acts were very different, and I did like the ending as well. It was quite with that one zombie just going with his teeth.
I just didn't like it. Maybe it was him walking around with herpes or whatever he injected into himself. AIDS.
The vaccine.
You can see the zombies going,
zombies
I haven't got it.
AIDS. He's got AIDS. We can't eat him. He's got AIDS.
I
may
know
be
is
dead, but we're not going to get AIDS. Come on.
Hey, Yoda, that vaccine was both safe and effective.
Yep.
Oh, was it? Okay. That's right. He injected himself with COVID.
And then he still got 8. That's weird. I'll give myself, and they still attack me.
He died. Yeah. He died of climate change later. That was
he's torn apart by zombies. COVID.
Another one, which is again, it's a weird one, but I quite enjoyed Warm Bodies, which is the one where
That's
this
dog
whole-
shit. That's dog
Oh
shit.
no, I just
That
like
is
the
dog
take
shit.
on it. I thought it was
Dog
That
just
was
quite funny.
interesting.
Dog
What
shit.
about
take.
Maggie? Has anyone seen Maggie? With
Yeah.
Oh,
Arnold?
with Schwarzenegger.
It was.
I
It was
like-
like- it was
I
like
liked
the,
Warm Bodies the first time. I think it got and upon repeat viewing, I was like, nah, this isn't good.
Yeah, it's a one-off. It's a one-off.
I must admit,
Yeah.
I've only seen it once. So
Yeah, I think
Would,
it loses something.
Would Pet Sematary count? The original?
I don't. No, maybe I don't know.
Well, it brings them back from the dead, doesn't he? So
yeah.
Yeah, but they're not. They don't eat flesh, and they're more of like possessed, I think, or something.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe
I'll
Ted.
say that off my list then.
The technicality.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, there are some greats in there. Like I say, like the original Dawn of the Dead, the '78 one and stuff. It's just one of those films that you can just watch endless
Yeah,
times
yeah.
over and thoroughly enjoy it.
The classic.
Okay, so
by
pick
the way, my favorite zombie movie would be Return of the Living Dead. Not that you asked.
I was just about a bloody hell. God, we need to script this thing, guys. I know
It's
we've
like being
seen.
stuck between warring parents, isn't it, Yoda?
Well, I gave up trying to control.
Bagsy
this
the
shit.
man, Bagsy the man, Bagsy dad.
Next week, Yoda, you'll have Phil say to Yoda, can you ask Sean?
Yeah. Can
What's
you
one
ask
it-
Sean
I'll
what
be
his
like-
favourite film is?
Yoda, could you tell Phil that
Which one of you
Sean,
two?
can you ask
says,
Sean? Can you ask Yoda? No, it's me you're not talking to. Oh right, yeah, sorry.
Which one of you two buys the best Christmas gifts? That's who I'm going to side with.
Can one of you guys? One of you guys ask my wife why we can. Oh,
To be
great.
fair, actually,
Writing.
Yoda. To be perfectly honest, you can have the kids. I don't want anything to do with it. So
I ain't
okay,
paying child support. I'm telling you that right now.
Yoda, what would be your favourite zombie movie?
I don't give a fuck anymore.
Sean, what's yours?
Return of the Living Dead. I already told you there.
Matt.
Shaun of the Dead.
That's a good. It is
Nah.
good. It is really
Yeah.
good. It is
I'd
really
go
good.
28 days later.
Oh no, you see, that's a good choice as well.
It
Yeah,
is
'cause
a
that is a good one. Again, you got some decent ones. I'm going to go with the original Dawn of the Dead because, like I say, it's just one of
Solid
those films.
choice.
It's you can't get bored with it. So okay then, so let's move on. Are you doing that, Yoda, or am I doing it? There we go. Look. So next, our best ghost movies.
Goda. Okay.
He gets more
All right.
professional as the day goes on, don't he?
I can feel the liquor just kicking in.
Right. Okay. So ghost movies. I'm just looking. I'm just trying to find a list here because I didn't. Where are we? Best 50
Wait a minute.
ghost
Wait a minute.
movies.
An important question in the comments has just come up: is between Matt and Yoda, which one would be mom and which one would be dad? I think that
I'm Dad.
between Yoda and Matt, you doofus.
Oh, okay.
Well, between me and Yoda.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It didn't. It didn't. Oh, wait.
If me
The
and you
real
were the
Which one is mum
kid,
and it's-
if me and you were the kids, you imbecile. That means
No,
Matt.
you're the
and Yoda-
fucking parents. We're the ones stuck between you two arguing.
Oh, okay. I'm the father, obviously, because I'm
I thought-
more.
Well,
I completely lost that. I thought Yoda and me were.
Yeah, my two dads. You're right. My two dads. The show. You two homos.
Why don't you two have a soggy biscuit competition live on air, and the loser becomes the mum?
I'm pretty sure because I just basically shake my head and check out. I think that makes me by default the dad because that's what most dads do these days. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
It's a trick question. There you go. Rogue Thoughts just put it there. Quick trick question. They're two mums these days. Yeah. To be fair, I can be whatever I want, and I identify as a mother. If I want to breastfeed my children, I will. Okay, so ghost stories.
Ghost stories.
We have got things like The Shining, The Changeling, The Others, Ringu, Haunting, It Follows, Devil's Backbone, Lake Mungo, The Fog, Woman in Black, The Conjuring, The Eye, Sixth Sense. Oh, Session 9. Now that's an underrated horror film. That's actually quite good. Candyman's come up again. I suppose he's a thing. Legend of Hell House, Poltergeist. There's some Silent Hill. The Innocents, The Orphanage. There's some pretty good titles there. Again, what would you guys say would be your favourite of the haunted ghost stories?
Ghostbusters.
Good call.
I'd have to agree with that because I'm not really a haunted ghost movie kind of guy. The fog out of that list, The Fog, but I would have to agree with Matt on Ghostbusters.
I'd go with Shining. I mean, Ghostbusters is great, but I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it scary, but
No, I was taking a piss. It's not a.
Shining is proper scary.
What about Others?
Yeah, the others.
The Nicole Kidman one?
The Others. That's in there. Yeah.
I mean, funny enough, that
it is.
top five, I would put all of them. My top five is the same as this. The Shining, The Changeling is a very well done. It's with George C. Scott. And
Yeah,
it's
I've
very
seen
well
that.
done. It's proper creepy in places. It's very good. The others is good. Ringu was in my top 25, and so was The Haunting.
The Grudge, the original Grudge, The Grudge too. Yeah, I would definitely put The Grudge in there.
That's a good one too. See,
Last
Session
Night in
9.
Soho.
The what?
Oh, yeah.
Last
Last
Night in
Night in Soho.
Soho.
Yeah.
That's a ghost film, isn't it?
Which
Yeah.
was it? I can't hear you because somebody keeps talking.
Last Night in Soho.
Oh, I did not like that movie.
Thank you.
I liked it a lot, but I wouldn't put it anywhere near the top or anything.
No.
Leanne says Crimson Peak. She's a big fan of that.
I
Was that Del
didn't
Toro?
rate that.
That was
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro did that one. He's Mexican.
It was
Matt.
Guillermo.
He's Mexican, you know, Matt.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I quite rate Session 9. That's the one where they're installing or they're getting rid of asbestos in a mental home, and they find these tapes and they listen to it, and one of the guys then gets possessed and stuff. It's quite an underrated horror. It's quite creepy and it's quite well done. It's got a good ending to it as well.
Did I ever tell you
The answer
guys?
is it's amazing.
Did I ever tell you guys about my friend that worked at a mental home, and there was one dude that would crap and then wrap it up in toilet paper like a giant Easter egg and hide it all over the place, and they'd have to go try to find these things.
Nice.
Did I ever tell you guys that story?
Well,
I
I think you're leaving out the part. It was like this guy when you're really meaning me. When I was
Yeah.
No,
you
You
can
actually-
read between
you
the
should-
lines there, Sean. You're not fooling anybody.
listen, if that was me, I would be proud to tell that on myself.
Clearly, you are proud to tell it. You're just kind of feeling the room. I can tell.
So, senile old man who shits himself in a mental asylum. It sounds a bit like Joe
No.
Biden in the White House.
No, he did not crap himself. He would take a dump on the floor or something. Then he would take a whole roll of toilet paper and wrap it up until like it was basically a Kinder Surprise or something. And then he would hide them. He would hide them throughout because they would let them like roam free during the day. And after like a day or two, they'd notice like the guy would be out of toilet paper, and then they'd have to go try to find these things because you can't just let.
Oh boy, I can't wait till Easter.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he said.
Hey, this chocolate's gone hard.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Oh.
Still sounds
But
like
did
Joe
they have to
Biden in the
unwrap
White
it?
House.
What's that, Matt?
Did they have to unwrap it to see if it was a turd? Or did
They knew what it was because apparently there was another crazy guy there that would find them and slowly peel them apart until he got to the juicy center.
till he got to the veins?
Yeah,
Put up Yoda. Put up Leanne's comment there about Session 9.
Oh,
Because it's weird because her she says there Session 9 is amazing, but Crimson Peak is a good. I didn't rate Crimson Peak, even though it's got Jessica Chastain in it. I've tried watching. I've watched it twice, and I just either time just didn't.
Is it because she's ugly?
she is ugly.
Oh, what, Leanne? Leave her alone, poor girl. No,
Jessica Chastain. Oh,
Actually-
that was very misogynistic.
I don't even know. Actually, do you know what? I watched a film the other day called Jolene because apparently it starred Jessica Chastain and there was nudity in it, and so I watched it because of her performance, obviously. And I must
We knew
admit,
it wasn't
that-
because
for
of
the
her
articles.
looks. It certainly
on
wasn't
a
for her
completely
looks.
on a completely unrelated note, the stock market of Kleenex has gone up this week. No, but her Jessica Chastain without eye makeup is not as nice as I remember. Yeah, it was.
She's
it
not
was a
nice
shame.
anyway. Her eyes are too deep in, and yeah, she's
ugly. She's as ugly as 7 Miles of Bad Road.
Do you know she looks a bit like Rocky out of The Mask?
She looks like she's dying of climate change to me.
Oh dear.
Well, way to stay on topic, gents.
The fog for me, but mostly when I saw it when I was 14 and thought Andrea Bew was hot. Yes, what do you mean was hot? She is hot. She's fantastic.
It's Andrea Barbeau, and yes, her tits are amazing.
Those things are thank goodness for what was it called? Swamp Thing.
I would have loved to see her as actually play Catwoman. She could have in her prime. She did the voice, and she was great. It's like
she's great. I think she set puberty off for me, as a matter of fact. Her and Susanna Huff from the Bengals during that Walk Like an Egyptian video.
Oh God, yeah. Anyway, back to horror films.
Yeah, back to ghost stories. I'm just looking. There's a couple of others here. I mean,
next week, best porn films.
best tits in Hollywood.
Sorry, if we're going to talk about, there's no contest with best porn films. It's Ass Stretchers 4. Sleepy Hollow,
which is the gay one.
Sleepy Hollow was quite a decent story, and again, it's sort of a mildly good original IP, and quite well done.
Wasn't that a true story?
It was kind of based on that kind of thing, wasn't it?
What film?
No, it's
Sleepy
just,
Hollow. No, but it's based on like a folklore, isn't it? Or
Washington Irving, I think, wrote it. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, or something like that. Just Ichabod Crane, but I don't believe any of it's true or anything that I know.
Well, how could you don't think that there was a headless horseman riding around? What about that do you not find credible?
No, Yoda thought it was a topless horse rider, not a headless horse rider.
Clearly, you nailed me. I got nothing. You're fine. You win this round, sir.
I see again another one which is underrated. It's only got a score of 31 here on the IMDb, but it's Silent Hill. I think Silent Hill's quite well done because I think a lot of the effects were quite practical, and so I liked Silent Hill.
Never seen it.
I don't watch video game movies, so I don't know.
That is an exception to the rule because I mean most of them are generally.
Now. You're upsetting Yoda who loves Sonic.
Yeah, I was gonna say wasn't as scary as Sonic.
The Conjuring's are based on true stories, aren't they?
Which one?
Sonic? No, it's not true.
The Conjuring.
Sonic's based on a true story.
Alleged. Well, you know, the guy and his wife are probably hucksters, but yeah, supposedly they're based on a true story.
Yeah, because Conjuring 2 was set in the UK, wasn't it?
The Conjuring? No, I thought it.
I think it's the second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about what was the one from around 2009? The where the guy videotapes his own bedroom because his wife is possessed.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
That was
right. That to me,
I could tell by the disdain in Yoda's voice how he was going to follow.
Dog shit movie.
I actually thought it was quite decent. Apart from, I remember somebody saying that Steven Spielberg saw it and changed the ending, and to me, the ending was actually quite. It spoilt it because she jumps at the camera right at the last minute. To me, it'd have been so much more creepier if she just looked at the camera and just walked out of the house. That to me would have been much a better ending.
There's 2 or 3 different endings. You can see them all on YouTube, and some of them are legit creepy. What about
Did you? I know you don't. I'm going to interrupt you here, but you know that I know you don't like Red Letter Media, but they went after they talked about the Paranormal Activity movies. They said it's just bizarre because you see people in the theater and they're like waiting for the jump scare, and then the jump scare happens. They go and then they go back to their phones waiting for the next jump scare. It's anything like it. It's like, is this like a theme park ride or something? It's not a movie. It's just people just waiting, hoping for the jump scare. They get the jump scare, but there's nothing to this movie. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I never understood the thing.
I
behind
don't
it
know.
either.
I think it had some good concepts in it, just not executed well. Like the ideal of, you know, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I like.
Oh, look, the chairs are stacked. Yeah, okay, whatever.
All right.
Well, what we need to do is go into Yoda's house, break in, and start doing that stuff because obviously nothing's going to freak him out. He's just going to go in and all the chairs are stacked in the room.
Yeah. When I'd be like, oh, geez, like I don't have enough work to do. Christ, I got to pull the chairs back.
Ghost in this house. Why can't you do the bloody dishes?
Yeah,
help me out.
do the fucking laundry, would you please? Christ, make
don't
yourself
you know?
useful.
Don't you know my wife only has one hand right now?
That's right.
Surely you must.
I'm practicing to do it for my wife.
I was going to say, surely you must have heard her. Everybody else bloody has.
No, you're not going to pay any rent. Make yourself useful.
What about,
so then,
wait a minute. What about how would you count the Blair Witch on that? That's not really a ghost story?
It was
though,
in the
is it?
list that I filmed, but
It's a witch film. Clues in the name.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is in the end.
Oh, it's a good ending though.
It is a great ending. That is a genuine ending that scared me. When I first saw it, it was great.
Would you rate that as one of your scariest movie moments?
I would, Sean. Well, that's an excellent point you make because isn't it next week we're going to be talking about our top scariest moments with a special guest?
Yes.
Cecil.
also known as Cecil from Good Bad Movies.
Cecil from Good Bad Movies.
He's going to join us along with Kevin Fiage.
Try not to spell his name wrong, okay?
I'll double check it.
SESEL.
Yeah.
Cecil, right? SEESAW, Cecil, got it.
Yeah.
FRANK. I don't know.
It's amazing that he will come onto the show a second time even.
I don't know why I'm not here anymore.
What's amazing is he obviously doesn't do his homework because he's obviously never seen any of these. So
Thank God.
Matt, what would you say is your favorite ghost film?
I'm going to go something boring like Sixth Sense.
Good one.
I
Sean,
don't know,
what would you
man.
say?
That's a pretty good. Probably.
No. I mean, boring,
legit.
boring, not as in a boring film. It's a great film. I mean, boring is an easy option.
Oh, you mean like a normie pick?
Yeah, a normie pick.
Or a Yoda pick, as we call it.
Yeah, I'd probably say The Fog, the original. Original Fog.
I picked The Shining. I don't think it's that awful of a pick. Come on.
It's not.
It's all right.
It's legit. It's legit.
It's a normie pick, you know.
Yeah,
for
but
me,
it's still a great movie.
It is.
For
I
me,
get it. I don't.
It's a close call for me between The Shining and The Haunting, because both of them are just brilliant. I think
You've got to pick one, Phil.
Whatever walks there walks alone.
Pick the Haunting.
I know that.
I
know that line.
Do you know that line?
Yeah, I know that line. It was in
What's
the
that
movie.
line? That's right. It was in the book, even.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Coloring with Captain America.
Sounded familiar.
I've done Iron Man Red. Right, anyway, so moving on then. So our best monster movies. Again, just to read out some titles, we've got something called The Thing, King Kong, Alien, Jaws, The Fly, Frankenstein.
Wait a minute. The Jaws does not belong on that list. That is giant nature, run amok. That is not the same as a monster.
We're breaking these down, so it's technically we're putting it in that genre. I can't do like loads of genres. We'll just get moaned at.
A slasher movie, anyway.
Jurassic Park, The Descent, which The Host from Korea, 2006.
That is an excellent film.
American Werewolf in London, Young Frankenstein, Pan's Labyrinth, lots of Godzilla and Frankenstein on here. Oh God, The Shape of Water, which was boring as hell.
Do we have Godzilla versus Frankenstein? Because I'd rate that very highly.
No, Godzilla. You got Godzilla or Frankenstein versus
Abbott
Dracula.
and Costello.
Yeah,
That's right. Abbott and Costello.
Meet the Wolfman.
Dog Soldiers, Hellboy.
Great movie.
Quality movie.
Monsters Inc. Predator. Them.
Yeah.
Oh, which is a classic. Gremlins. King Kong. I mean, there's just like Tremors.
You
Oh,
really
it's
have to subdivide this a little bit. 'cause
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
like-
lot of good
yeah,
ones.
Yeah, too hard.
Alien,
Little Shop of
Predator,
Horrors.
those are all sci-fi. They're all great.
Yeah.
Can I go first? Because I don't think you're ever going to beat my best monster movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your wedding
I'm
video.
going for The Danish Girl.
What?
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah. Is it
I know
about-
what you mean, Matt. I get it.
Is it about
Eddie
the-
Redmayne.
Rosie O'Donnell, though, I could be on.
No,
board
it's
with that.
Eddie Red. Is it Redmayne? How do you say his name?
Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a trans dude. In
Oh
it.
yeah. Very clever and very funny.
Thank you,
See,
thank
If
you.
you were going to say that, my favorite monster movie then is going to be Theory of Everything, where he plays that guy in the wheelchair.
That guy in the wheelchair.
Disabled phobe.
See, another one on there is Attack the Block. See, that's a
That's a
monster movie.
it's all
Shit.
right.
It's legit.
It's all right.
I like it.
It's-
Right.
The
The
I like
problem
the
next
with
monster
creature from the Black
design.
Lagoon.
Pretty
the
awesome.
the problem with it is it's got that one black dude from Star Wars in it.
The
Yeah,
janitor.
but back then he was cool. Back then.
Yeah,
Basket case.
He's still cool. He's shitting all over Star Wars now, so I'm okay. I like him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're saying he's more based now than he was?
Oh, he's definitely come out of Star Wars pretty
Oh yeah, yeah.
pretty traumatized. I mean, I think they got him a rape kit and all that. So you know,
Show me
Cloverfield?
on the door where the executive Disney
Yeah.
executive touched
Kathy Kennedy hit here and here.
She
Here's
took
my
money from-
contract.
Yes.
She took money from this pocket and this pocket.
She touched me she touched me on my future career.
Okay, so we've got quite a wide, varied range here in monster movies, so it's difficult to pin down. I mean, I don't think any of us are going to say like anything bad about The Thing because it's just the perfect movie, and it is a
It is
perfect
a
monster
perfect-
movie as well. You know,
Not
it's-
probably at the top because we all rated that so highly in our other ones. I'll throw
Actually-
one out there that I really enjoyed that I think is probably not thought of. The first Pitch Black.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very underrated. Yeah.
Back when
Yeah.
Ben Diesel
Yeah.
was before he was in a family.
Family.
Family. See, again, The Fly is another good one. I mean, they've got the one here, the 1986 version,
Yeah,
the David
that's
Cronenberg
excellent.
version, which
Uh-huh.
it is
Yeah.
again brilliant. The
Very
metamorphosis,
very horrifying body horror film. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Which is funny, which is very weird for David Cronenberg because he's
I
not
know
usually
it.
like that, is he?
Not known for
you-
that.
Shocker.
Yeah. Yeah. Very mainstream taste normally. I don't know what got into him that time.
See
Cloverfield?
Jurassic. Oh, Cloverfield. Yeah, see that. I haven't seen that for years, but I remember that. I
Oh,
remember enjoying that.
quality.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
like
remember.
it. I don't like it.
No.
Another one I liked the first time, doesn't do very well in repeat viewings.
Oh, I've seen it a couple of times. I enjoyed it, and The Quiet Place as well. I like them.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about Cloverfield to me was the like little last monsters that dropped off, and if they bit you, you'd end up exploding.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
We got a bleeder.
Yeah.
And then you've got
What
like, I
about
mean, because
it?
that. Oh, I suppose yeah, it's monster. I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, because it is a monster at the end, isn't it?
What?
I see. I remember finding the original It quite scary with Tim Curry, and I thought that both the remakes were pretty solid.
One was good.
Yeah, the first one was okay. The second was dumb as dog shit.
The ending
and you
I
know-
think was the problem.
The part 2 of the original It movie kind of fell apart too. It's I think it's just the story. It works really well with the kids, not so much with the adults.
Yeah,
It's
because the
typical.
kid
It's typical Stephen King that he just can't write an ending.
he can write a underage child gangbang in a sewer ending or
Yeah.
scene though. Apparently, he's really good at
Yeah.
that.
Because I know one that myself and Yoda agree on is this is a bad one. I did not get this at all. Is that Shape of Water? I did not rate
I
that
thought
at
that
all.
was dog shit movie. That was just
Up its own arse.
trying
Could
to
be good.
Very
just another dumb movie to say white people are bad.
Compared
Guillermo del Toro directed that one.
Compared to his Pan's Labyrinth, which I do really rate and I do really like as a monster movie, that's great. But that Shape of Water, I just didn't get that at all.
I lost interest when she was frigging herself off in the bath. I was like, this is totally irrelevant.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly where I lost interest.
You know,
here's couldn't see anything. I mean,
I don't even see the
'cause
mom from Paddington doing herself in the bathtub
Yeah.
and then fucking a fish monster.
So the
It's the mom
question
from
is,
Paddington.
so the question is, does the monster go like, "Hey, that smells like fish," or does he like go like that's, or does he goes like, "Has my brother already been here?" What's so fun? What's so funny?
Moving on, they've got here as a list, and funny enough, Monsters Inc. Now again, I love the story of that.
What about Monster Squad? That's a better one to put on there.
Yeah, that
I
is
see.
actually.
Hang on, no, I watched
Wolfman.
the Monster Squad.
Wolfman's
Yeah.
got
Nards.
nards. Wolfman's got nards.
I watched that for the first time only recently because it kind of missed me over here, and I didn't rate it. But I think if I'd have watched it as a kid, I probably would have loved it more.
You are
Yeah.
a fucking degenerate if you think that is not a good movie.
It's not as good as Monster Squad. There's
Well,
Monsters
he's got
Inc.
you there, Sean. I mean, I don't know how you can rebut
You can't
that
argue.
incredible,
You can't
well-thought
argue
out-
with. You can't argue with.
Kentucky Hillbilly BTFO.
Oh, man.
No, see,
I just want to know what you guys think of Guillermo del Toro. See how
Who?
I did that?
Who?
Yeah, you mean amazing.
You mean Guillermo?
Yeah, you go for it. No, yeah, I swear you're gonna wrap your tongue around a telephone pole if you keep trying to do that.
Guillermo.
But his quintessential monster movie, Pacific Rim.
You know what? It was a good
Dog shit
try.
movie.
It was a good try at making a real life anime. You know.
It was
Another-
punctuate moments that were so awesome. Like he hits, he picks up, what was it, a train car or something,
Oil
something-
tanker or something.
oil
like that.
tanker or something, hits him with it, and then they have that moment where like the little beads go because it just, and I'm like, oh God, what are you doing?
See, another one of his movies on the list I just found was Hellboy. Because Hellboy 1 and 2 are great movies.
2 is very, yeah. Two's
2
pretty.
is better. Yeah, 2 is better. But yeah, again, both of them are quite good fun. See, Dog Soldiers. I haven't seen Dog Soldiers in ages.
Dog
I need to go back
Soldiers,
and watch that.
great movie. All those guys at Dog Soldiers sound like Matt.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him get killed. Yeah.
They're like,
Um,
they're like, Bob's your uncle. Oi, cunt. Right.
Are you having a giraffe, mate? You trying to bite my leg and all that?
The working title was Soccer Hooligans, the movie.
Soccer hooligans versus werewolves.
I love that.
I'd watch
Oh
that.
yeah. I'd watch that and all.
I love the werewolf design in that. Like that's the way I think a werewolf should look.
Yeah.
Oh, I take Ginger Snaps. Now that is a classic werewolf movie.
Very much. Yeah.
I can't believe that Leanne hadn't popped up in the comments over that because I know she likes that one quite a bit. Ginger
We're not on
Snaps.
werewolves yet though.
Like a
Well, that
howling.
monster. Yeah, werewolf counts as monster, don't it?
Monster, yeah. Is that-
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose. Well, I
The
suppose so.
when you say the howling, do
I
you
think they're our
actually
little section.
do you mean Howling 3? Your the marsupials?
No, I do not.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
I
I thought,
need the- I need the
I thought
one
Sean had started to say that. Are you talking about the Howling, your sister?
Well, there
It
is
sounded like-
a howling called Your Sister's a Werewolf, and I almost said that by mistake. So
All right.
No, I like watching the mother from ET turn into the cutest werewolf ever before she gets blown away on the air.
shotgun to the face. Yeah.
I'm still going to say another
It was
one that's just come
Andor
up
that
here.
starred on that. I don't know if you knew.
Gremlins is still a great monster movie. I
No,
still love it.
It's
It's
not.
It's fun and I like it.
The second one is amazing.
Oh yeah, that's just so weird.
I love the second one is basically Dante saying, "I don't want to do this movie, so this is what I'm going to do." Gremlins
Was he
2.
was he like contractually obligated to do that or something? He
I
could have
don't
just said
know what
no.
the story is, but he was able to do just the most meta, bizarre nonsense. I don't want to do it sequel ever, and it was great.
It was kind of like, we're going to make it, and so he was like, "We'll pay me to do it," and then I don't mind. And then like what's it called? One of the Wachowski. Isn't it right that the Wachowski brothers were murdered by the Wachowski sisters? Am I getting that wrong?
The sisters murdered their dingleberries and then took over.
But I mean, and again, in the same way that Lana Wachowski said, "Well, if you're going to do Matrix 4, I'll do it, and I'll poke fun at things." That's what Joe Dante did with Gremlins 2.
It's just like,
Dante did it better.
Make a note about that, and ask Cecil about it next week because I'm pretty sure he knows. He would know the story on that.
I love you remember in the original Gremlins where she told the whole crazy story about her father.
Yeah, and the chimney.
And then they get to Gremlins 2 and she's like, "Oh, it's Arbor Day. This is the kind of thing." And they're like, yeah, get her out of here. Get her out of here. She's got some horrible story for every holiday.
You know the best.
Don't invite her for Thanksgiving.
The best scene she ever did was Fast Times at Ridgemont High when she comes out of the pool.
Everybody knows.
No, Paradise. You need to watch Paradise. Anyway, The Mist, 2007. That was quite a good monster movie. Great ending.
That was
my favorite ending.
That is a bonkers ending.
I laughed and laughed and laughed.
I did too. I laughed at that. It's the original. The Stephen King short story is much lamer when it ends, but that ending was superior to his ending. And the spoiler is he shoots his own son and then runs out of bullets and can't even kill himself. And then 30 seconds later, the army shows up and the whole thing
rescues everyone. I could just see the army turning up, going, "Everything all right in here, sir?" Whoa!
Yeah. you never guess what he did.
That is great. You beat me to it, Sean. But I put it as my favourite werewolf category. The Host is probably my favourite monster movie. The Host is a belter.
It is great. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I saw it.
Oh, Matt, you'd love it.
It's more like a sci-fi kind of movie than a horror movie.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I did watch the other.
It was the number one earning movie in the South Korean box office that year. It was better than pretty good.
It's probably the only movie they released.
They released, yeah.
You know what? That's very Asia-phobic, you Matt.
Yeah, fuck it.
I love how you put that shot. It's like in The Simpsons. It says Mickey Rooney, number one box office draw in 1939 and 1940.
Decades.
Wow, spanning 2 decades.
Listen, if you knew anything about South Korean cinema, you would not laugh it off. They make some killer movies. Legit.
No, they do. It's just not my cup of tea, that's all.
It's oi, mate. I understand.
Hey,
it's not his Aunt Fanny. That's what it's not.
The Matrix was the number one movie spanning 2 millennia, 1990s.
I did watch recently, actually only the other day, for the first time, I think, was Basket Case, which was great fun. I love the fact that all the kills within that movie are just hand over face and then the blood comes out.
If you like that one,
before we move on, I've got a quick question. Would Alien be classed as a monster film?
I think it would. Yeah,
I did read it out on the list. And Predator,
Rogue Thoughts and Predator, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
You got to subdivide the monster genre, I think, a bit. It's a little varied.
Yeah, because you got stuff like the giant nature, so Jaws, Grizzly. Then you got your giant mutated atomic monsters, Godzilla, them. That sort of thing.
You've got your Disney executive monster stories.
Then you got your trans Eddie Redmayne abominations.
Anything starring Rosie O'Donnell,
What's your
Whoopi
favorite
Goldberg.
Amy Schumer monster movie?
There you go. Trainwreck. Yeah, there you go. That's
We're done.
I read a good one about Amy Schumer the other day. It said Amy Schumer has never made me laugh, but the other day I saw her get hit by a bus. So,
boom.
right, okay.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it, bud.
Whatever.
Yoda, when you just slice this together, put a big tumbleweed going across the street.
Pearls before swine.
Cricket.
I understand they can't all be winners. We all bomb once in a while.
Right, okay, so there we go. Our best overall horror movies. What would we say? This live stream is a close contender. For me,
These are the
I'd
jokes, folks. These are the jokes.
for me, I would have to say The Haunting because I just think it's brilliant. I think it's a
The
proper
Liam Neeson
scary
one?
movie. No, not the Liam
Sorry,
Neeson
but-
one.
The picture was Liam Neeson.
No, the
Those
original
jokes were last
1960
week. Move on.
Yeah. No, the original 63 Haunting by Robert Wise is just a masterclass in horror. Absolutely brilliantly done film, brilliantly acted, beautiful sound effects, photography, and it just makes it really scary. It's great fun.
That was very pretentious sounding. No, the masterclass, brilliantly directed by.
It was pretty good, but it didn't have no tits in it.
That's more like it. That's much.
Matt,
there's a sound clip for you. Just clip that as a short.
I think I've actually
Slice
just
and
seen
dice this thing of ribbons this week. I can tell.
just so a little bit of Yoda's soul leave him.
another bit. You mean another bit? We see it every week.
Yeah.
I think more where that came from.
Matt, what would you say is your favourite horror?
Well, as we can have Alien as a monster, I'm going to have Alien as my best horror film
Fair play. Good reason. Why?
because it's scary.
Because it's a masterclass and brilliantly
It's a
directed.
masterclass. It's a masterclass, and yeah.
I don't care. I want to say I'm educated, but I can't even say that. I'm trying to sound intelligent. All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shit all over your attempt at sounding sophisticated.
Sophisticated. That's me. Yoda, what would you say? Would you put down as your favorite horror?
Last Jedi. I would put down the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, which is something we haven't mentioned at all. Yeah.
I haven't really mentioned it, and I think it's just a
Master class? Is it a master class?
Stop stealing my catchphrase. Stop stealing my catchphrase. That's my catchphrase.
No, it's
Dumb and Dumber is a masterclass in comedy.
No, it's one of the. It's not an elective. It's one of your ones you have to take in freshman year. No, I just think it's a descent into madness. It's not nearly as gross as you might think it would be by the title. It doesn't get nearly that gory or bloody. But when she's in the dinner scene, I guess, and it's just a nightmare feel. That's what I would call it. It's just where she can't get away, and you just got these crazy hillbillies that are about ready to eat her, and having these weird conversations with themselves, like this is just another Saturday. Bizarre.
They're rednecks, not hillbillies. There's no hills in Texas.
Fair enough.
You're offending me with your wrong nomenclature.
I'll stand corrected with my misclassification of our rural cannibals,
white trash subculture,
white trash rural cannibals. Sorry.
Okay,
but Yoda, you sound like an inbred phobe.
They
all love is.
You know, they probably have lobbyists in Washington. Who the fuck are we kidding?
All right. So speaking of slack-jawed yokels who sang quite thick, Sean, what was your favorite?
Return of the Living Dead. That's my favorite. That's the one I have the most fun with. Probably the best is The Thing, but my favorite is Return of the Living Dead.
You said the other day about the ending of Return of the Living Dead.
Masterclass, Matt.
It's
Very
a
nice.
master.
I'm going to copyright it, so every time you say it, you owe me money. So, yeah.
All right. The ending of what? Of Return of the Living
The
Dead?
ending of Return of the Living Dead, because I did watch it last year, and I just can't remember what the actual ending was. But you said it was quite bleak.
Yeah, they finally called the army on the trioxane barrels to tell them what's going on, and the army just nukes the entire city because they know they can't contain it. So they're all like waiting for the army, and they're like, "What's that sound?" And it's a nuke coming in from an artillery shell. And the movie ends with the whole city getting nuked.
I'm praying for that right now.
I was going to say that sounds like the mayor of Hiroshima. What's that sound?
Yeah. You know, that's set in Louisville. The movie's set in Louisville, Kentucky, too.
Oh, right.
And then people in China are like, "What was that noise?"
Nothing.
Dear.
Go back to the dog.
Okay, so yeah, we've discussed some great horror movies, and
Rogue says Predator's his favourite.
Yeah, it's
Nobody.
wait a minute. Favorite monster or horror movie?
I don't know. We're a bit.
Is Predator?
No, he says Predator.
That's a question. Is Predator even a horror movie? It seems like it, but it's kind of a genre shift, right?
It's a monster movie.
It's both genres. I mean, it's legit scary. Seriously, it's legit scary.
You're an
It's
idiot.
also
Well,
I've just seen what Matt's done.
well,
You just now notice, even though
welcome to the stream, there, Phil. Appreciate you.
I was
joining
looking
us.
at lists, trying to find other stuff for us to talk about,
Whatever.
and playing Star Wars.
let me add a quick addendum to my
Complete fail as a host. I'm sorry.
I was corrected here. At the end of Night Return, it gets nuked, but then the acid rain from the nuke, which also has the trioxane in it, starts to rain. So the implication is like the entire area is now going to be resurrected zombies. But yeah. So
The nuke has acid rain.
No,
they
no,
didn't
no.
give a fuck, did they?
no, yeah, the nuke, the city's burning and all of it, and it goes up into the cloud, which is how burning one of the zombies at the middle part of the movie causes the smoke to go up, and it rains and it contaminates it.
If you know anything about Dan O'Bannon, if you've ever seen Dark Star, you'd understand that some of his writing, it's hit and miss.
No. First of all, shut your whore mouth talking bad about Dan O'Bannon. Second of all, it makes perfect. I explained it very poorly, but
No, excuse me. I'm talking about the beach ball in Dark Star.
hilarious.
Yeah, I know, but it's not exactly particularly scary, is it?
Keep going. I got it.
Matt, will you tell Sean that Dark Star's not very good?
I'm just still gobsmacked about nuking a city and then acid rain falls and make zombies, and we've got the audacity to slag off the writings of today's stuff.
Well, the nuke goes off, it causes fallout and burn, the city's on fire. The smoke from the city and stuff's going up into the clouds, which causes contamination of the rain. Yeah.
Sounds
And
legit.
also, and the whole film is written quite tongue in cheek, as opposed to something which is supposed to be, serious.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not point out who corrected me on that, which Leanne in the comments is making sure that you credit where it's due. We were woman-splained. We were vagina-splained. I just want you guys to know that. Yeah. Sorry, Matt.
We've been corrected on the correction for Sean's correction.
Yeah. We had
only if we read it. If we ignore it, nothing's happened.
Well, this is the He-Man's Woman Haters Club, so we can just ignore it. And you know what? When you re-edit this, make it sound like she left that part out, and I was the one that corrected her on it.
A bit of photoshopping on that, yeah. Sorry,
Honestly,
I was wrong, Sean.
I think I'm going to skip this. It's just
Also,
a nightmare.
I want to point out that she's the one that did the review on Interview with the Vampire that everybody hated. So, just saying. Just saying.
The review was good, Leanne. Just to point out shit.
Yeah.
I tell you, when I see it, the one thing I think that's been missing from our vampire movies is butt sex. I think we need more of it, and I'm glad that it's filling a niche, or filling a crack, or filling something. But
that was very
How long have you
funny.
been sat on that? How long have you been sat on that?
I just came up with it just now. I swear to God.
He's been sitting on that as long as the guys in the movie Bros have been sitting on that.
Yeah.
Oh, grief. So, yeah, next week we are going to be carrying on talking about Halloween. We are going to be talking about some of the scariest moments in cinema, and we will have a very special guest of Seesaw from Good Bad Movies.
All right, now scariest moments are from cinema. This stream does not count. All right, can't use anything that happened here today.
Okay,
You know what?
no,
Don't try not to embarrass me in front of my friend, my big important friend.
Well, we don't try.
I love the way he says friend.
I didn't mean you. I meant him. That's
Me.
That's about Phil.
He's talking about the professional host. Thank you.
You know, I should disavow my comment that he's my friend because somebody might see that and get mad at him for knowing me. So I actually don't know him at all. I paid him to come on. We don't know. He have no idea who the guy was. I just gave him some money.
But no, like I say, next week
It will be telling that he doesn't show up on camera.
Something Cecil doesn't
only be a voice.
Yeah.
It will only be a voice.
No, Cecil doesn't agree with anything ever said on this live stream at any point.
I don't agree with anything said on this live stream.
Yeah.
And
I
said a lot
agree
of
with
it.
everything we've said.
He doesn't endorse or condone anything.
or mention to anybody that he's coming on here.
Yeah.
I signed a waiver against myself before I even started. So, you know, I get it.
But yes, come back next week and we'll be talking about more scary Halloween stuff.
With somebody that's like a real pro with a much better radio voice than any of ours, except for maybe Dane.
Excuse me, I can speak the Queen's English.
You can't even
Queen's
spell my
dead, though.
Yeah.
It's the King's English.
I can speak the King's English.
He's so particular about the way he speaks that he can't even get that right. That's how.
It's changed. It's
brass
changed.
tack.
It's weird. It's come through. I don't know who's in charge at the moment.
Brass tacks. Brass tacks.
Well, sure. We know who's in charge.
Give him a
Thank you,
minute.
lads.
You better.
They won't ever figure it out.
No. Anyway, Yoda, do you wanna close us out?
Yes, thank you
terrible
for
joke.
watching another fine episode of Operation Trainwreck, starring myself, Sean, Matt, and Phil. We do appreciate you watching. You can't know how much we actually appreciate you watching because I wouldn't watch this shit. This has been another fine production from lastmovieoutpost.com where we have all the latest movie news, streaming news, and everything good about film.
Wait. We just
God damn it, do not step on my fucking enter. Wait till I get Mr. Let me take a breath.
We got a $10 super chat. Now, do you want to
We did. I would have showed it. I would have showed it. This is a professional organization here, kind of. So the fact that you paid us, I think, does make us a professional.
Yeah.
Excuse me as
now.
well. Yes, because he thinks this is a masterclass of a stream. I feel vindicated. Thank you,
Well-
Rogue Thought.
Well done, Old Bean.
Rogue, don't feed the beast. Don't feed the beast.
Oh, man,
Thank
that
you
was
very
totally
much
right.
for the $10. We do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
And we do appreciate each and every one of your chats, super or otherwise, quite frankly. But the super chats are well appreciated and mystifying, but well appreciated. So we
More money
will
than
be
sense.
back. We will be back next week for another fine edition of this live stream. We will talk with, hopefully, as long as he doesn't watch this mess, Cecil from Good Bad Flicks. And
Good Bad Movies, idiot.
should I just end it? Just cut to
I was
black.
just cut it straight away.
I promise we won't let money change us.
Speak for yourself, asshole. I plan to get so much worse.
He's
If
already
I'm free.
he's already changing his last name to Drunken Yodaberg. After
That's
that.
right. Drunken Yoda Steen.
He'll soon be ruling over us.
I've got it. I've got my eye on an island. I'm telling you what.
Oh, I want to go. Sorry.
You're too old.
You
You have
got-
to be this young to be on this ride.
if you're taller than this, you can't be admitted.
That's right.
Neil before
Oh,
Zod. Yeah, go
Let
on.
me-
Oh, Warwick
Yeah.
Davis.
We check IDs, and if you're older than 18, nope. Sorry.
Yeah, if you've got an ID, it's not for us.
No. Oh, she can drive? Get her out of here.
You know what? That's what Yoda always says. If they're old enough to crawl, they're in the right position.
I hate
Got it.
I never said it. He's the one that says it all the time.
Is that what I say? Okay. We'll go with that. Sure, why not? It's
I'm
nightmare
sorry.
anyway.
I'm sorry if this ever results in a divorce for you. Just tell your wife not to take it.
To be fair, she won't divorce him yet because let's face it. I mean, she needs somebody to be around. So when her hand's better, that's when he's got to worry.
My wife wonders why I wake up in cold sweats sometimes. This is
Oh, I'm on the live stream. Oh, sorry, I was having a nightmare. Sorry.
it's so racist. Oh, that's all right.
His nightmare is he accidentally puts this up during his work conference.
Yeah.
Oh,
You say that, man. The woke is starting. I've seen it on our. We embrace Slack. Oh God. So, but I won't get into that now. This is the end of the stream. Thank bloody God. So we will see you next week on the next stream. Remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com. You can contact us by email with the email address contact us at lastmovieoutpost.com. I am at Drunken Yoda 1. He is at Moba Phil. Facebook is /Last Movie Outpost. Instagram, if it's even used, at Last Movie Outpost. And I'll do one more around the horn because I'm a glutton for punishment. Sean, anything last words to say?
No, tune in next week for Cecil.
All
So
right.
class this place up a little bit.
Well, can he master class this week?
Well, we'll see.
Oh.
It's catching on. It's trending. It's trending.
Hashtag masterclass.
Masterclass Matt. I'll just segue right into you there.
No.
Oi, cunt.
Seems reasonable.
You want me to say it, don't you?
I do want you to say it really bad. You have no idea.
Sean, you are such a cunt.
You said the thing. Yoda, he said the thing.
He said the thing. He said it. He said the thing.
They said it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Phil, do you have anything to add to this tremendous stream?
I'm going to dress up next week for Halloween. I know
What's her
nobody
name?
else will. No. No, I've got a costume all ready for next week. So I'm going to wear
Fuck.
Is it a
friendly?
bat? It's a bathrobe and a vibrator. He's going to pretend to be a
that. No,
lightsaber.
no. I'll give you a clue, okay? Golden bikini, Princess Leia. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Look forward to it.
So the three of us will be on next week's stream. Phil won't be able to make it. It's a shame. Absolute crying shame. So we'll see you again on the next stream. Thanks for watching. God knows why you do this to yourselves. I really feel for you.